Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Tauke Talks. Before we start, I would like to inform everyone about the agenda for today. For today's session with Kerry from Basic Zero Waste Store, we'll be having the guidelines first. So like just basic guidelines for normally what we do in Tauke Talks. The introduction where we get to learn a bit more about Kerry and also Basic Zero Waste Store. And the sharing session where she gets to share about her journey and any challenges or advices she has for everyone. And then Q&A session is where your questions, any questions that you submitted during your registration, and any questions that you might have in the chat, you'll be also asking during that time. And then during the closing, we'll be announcing our next Talkie Talk session, where you can find out more about our ongoing next Talkie Talk session and also any ongoing programs from RYSE. So without postponing any further, my name is Denise. I'm the host for today. So few of the guidelines for today's Talking Talk session is please stay muted and turn off your video because we will be recording today's session and posting it on social media tomorrow. We also strongly advise you to use respectful language in the chat. Feel free to type in the chat if your name, where you're from, how do you find out about basics, or maybe why you're curious about her business. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Feel free to ask in the chat, and then I'll be reading it out later during the Q&A session. Okay, so welcome to Talkie Talks, everyone, to a series of sharing sessions where small but mighty business owners share about their motivation to start their own business and the story behind their journey. So this sharing session is brought to you by RYSE, RYSE, a Malaysian research and social outreach project that empowers Malaysian youth through entrepreneurship. So RYSE is supported by Citi Foundation, and we believe that entrepreneurship is not only for big startups who use high-tech, advanced technology, but also for those who are small and mighty, just like Basic Zero Waste Store, okay? So RYSE aims to showcase stories of small local businesses that are persevering and still chasing their dream, even during these difficult circumstances. So I'm happy to welcome our guest for today, Kerry from Basic Zero Waste Store. Welcome.
Hi everyone, good morning. So this is my first interview virtually. So if I go too fast or go too slow, please remind me. So basically, Basic Zero Waste Store is a grocery store without any single-use plastic packaging. So 90% of our products are single-use, and we encourage our customers to refill their daily household necessities, such as cleaning products, dried goods, snacks, and so much more with their own containers. For items that must have packaging, we will choose sustainable packaging such as glass jar or compostable box. So now you might ask why? What is wrong with single-use plastic packaging? Technically, there's nothing wrong. It's very convenient. But the problem comes when there are too much of it and it is not compostable. And each time that we throw it away, it just does not just disappear. It goes to our oceans and lands, polluting our environment and affecting the entire ecosystem. So if you look at this pyramid here, you might have always heard about 3 Rs, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. But there is this alternative called the 5 Rs, and it always begins with refuse. So refuse meaning if you choose to refill, you are refusing single-use plastic packaging because you do not actually need them. So come to reduce, if you choose to refill, you can buy any amount that you need. Indirectly, you reduce food wastage. So third, come to reuse. If you choose to refill, you can use back all empty jars and bottles at your home. You do not actually need to buy new jars or fancy zero waste essentials if you already have it. Fourth, finally, we can see recycle, the common known solution to go green. But how come this is not at the top? Because not everything can be recycled. And to our surprise, only 30% of all recyclables are actually being recycled. So the true way to go green, as I would say, I mean, in my mind, is to choose recycle if we can't really do refuse, reduce, and reduce. So the last one in the pyramid would be rot, which is composting our food waste. Let nature goes back to nature. So now let me give you an example. Last year, Denise need 50 grams of corn flour. And at that time, assuming that she's not aware about zero waste, So she bought a pack of corn flour, 1 kg, like this. Okay, the only pre-packed item that I can find at my home. So after she used 50 grams of it, she put back the whole pack left over in her pantry and completely forgot about it until spring cleaning during Chinese New Year, and it has expired. So now, how much waste Denise had created here? One single-use plastic packaging and wasted 950 grams of corn flour. So today, after this Tauke Talk session, Denise know there's this thing called zero waste, and she wanted to start buying in this. And again, she needs 50 grams of corn flour. This time, she's smart. She brings her own container to zero waste store to refill. She went home, used 50 grams of the corn flour, washed the container, and keep and use it again next time. Now, how much rubbish, how much waste she had created here? Zero. Zero rubbish and zero food wastage. So she has completed refuse, reduce, and reuse in this pyramid, and she doesn't even need to recycle anything. So basically, Basic Zero Waste Store aims to help customers like Denise to change their current buying habit from buying pre-packed into refill basis. And eventually, we hope that we are able to reduce rubbish and pollutions.
Thanks, Kerry, to introduce like the basic concept of your store in a way. What are the ways that if people are interested to visit your store or find out more about your business?
We have social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have a website. Because for Zero Waste Store, technically, unless you really come over and see for yourself, it's really hard to imagine what's inside. So in our Facebook and in our social media, we actually try to put in all sorts of like product lists. We have a full list of product lists for you to look at before, because to buy zero waste, you have to pre-plan. You cannot just like normal days where you go to a hypermarket and you just go in without bringing anything and you can come up with things. So for zero waste store, the difference is you have to pre-plan. You have to plan what kind of things that I need to buy, what amount that I need to buy so that my containers will fit. And also you have to come with a list because you need to label your containers and we will refill it for you. So we have tried to, and it doesn't even matter if you forgot to bring your own containers or your own containers doesn't fit. We have prepared those used clean containers for you to reuse, and we also have empty jars available in the store for you to buy and use if you really do not have one and you wish to have one. And yeah, I guess that's the way. And actually, before you start, if you really want to know more about zero waste, I would suggest that you go to Facebook, Zero Waste Malaysia Facebook. In there, you can find all sorts of ways about zero waste, how to go zero waste, how to start zero waste, and keep follow us because we will post every day, almost every day we will post how to guide you about zero waste.
Thank you. So I'm sure the audience are curious, like what inspired you to start this type of business?
Okay, well, a bit of a background. My husband, Kim, is an accountant, and myself is a company secretary. And we are still practicing our profession in our own management firm, which we started back in year 2015. So what inspired us to start Basics is last few years, in one of our travels, we came across a tourist spot in Malaysia, a beach, which were completely covered with rubbish. And the scene was very saddening. So after we came back from that trip, we came to know there's this lifestyle called zero waste. And that's where our zero waste journey begins. So after a few years practicing zero waste, we thought we have to share this out to everyone. and hope that they will love being zero waste as much as we do. And the part of it is also because we are quite frustrated because there's no zero waste nearby where we live. So instead of waiting other people to open one, why not us? So in September last year during RMCO, we opened Basics and operate it together with our management firm at a commercial and residential service apartment at RYSE.
Were there any, what was it like when you first started in December, especially during the RMCO time?
Yeah, well, the first few challenges are those basically working capitals, product range, how to find a suitable supplier, how to do marketing, what are our target customers. So to conserve working capital, actually we start really, really slow. Like one very small step at a time. We only have less than 20 products at the beginning, only sells detergent because we at that time we do not know how to store those dried food, dried goods and all those food things. So we only have less than 20 products and all our household products like cleaning products. Now we have over 200 products over a period of 10 months. So I guess that's how small business like us overcome cash flow problem. My advice is to those who want to start, it doesn't matter if you start it slow, but you have to start it because after you started it, only then you will know what are the actual problems comes in. So in terms of supplier, due to zero waste demand, it's very, very, very hard to find a suitable supplier because some supplier will feel too mafan, especially for food items. Huh? How to pack? Huh? This and that. Okay, but thankfully there are still suppliers that are very accommodating, as in even they have not heard about zero waste packaging, they will think of a way to supply to us either in returnable packaging or more sustainable packaging. So for marketing, we mainly use social media platforms for exposure because during that pandemic period, we can't really do anything except using social media. So because both of us are not really social media savvy, we have to learn everything from scratch. We have to learn how to use Instagram, how to put story. What is the difference between Instagram story and post? I still remember I need to ask my friend, what is the difference between Instagram post and Instagram story? So how to put sticker and music into the story. And the main thing is we always forgot to share our progress in social media because we are used to like, if there's anything, we just do it and complete it without remember to take photo or take video. So I don't think we have overcome this issue yet, but things have been better with the addition of our new colleague, Joyce. She had helped us a lot, especially in social media marketing area. So now, finally, these few months, you can see that there's a lot of posts in our social media platforms. So another issue that we face is for some customers, because we sell in use, so they will be like concerning about the expiry date, what kind of brand that we use. Because usually when we buy, there are packaging. So in the packaging, there are brand, when they pack the products, this and that, the nutrition label. And because we do not have any of that, they can't really trust in the product. There's no label, nothing. So in the beginning, we didn't really think of this issue as a main concern, but taking into consideration that most customers actually concerned about this, which we think is completely normal. Now we are trying to improve our labels to tackle this issue. So overall, I think challenges will never stop. New challenges will always kick in. So what can we do is we just need to get ready for any challenges ahead. And it will be better if you have a team working together.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like sometimes you have to decide when to bring in another person in your team, right? And whether do you need that as well.
Yeah.
I was curious to know, like, how did you balance between, your passion as being a zero waster, but also balancing it to make sure that your business is a sustainable one?
Okay. Honestly, we tried. We only can try because for business wise, I mean, from business perspective, of course, we need to like take care of our budget. We need to take care of everything. But in terms of zero waste, we have to like. So it's quite confusing. We ourselves is confused as well. Do we, because for example, if we bring in this product, is this product sustainable? It has do it has plastic inside? um, does it bring harms to the planet? We can't really like, because there's kind of a lot, quite many suppliers actually finance us to sell their products. But the concern, the thing is, we can't sell their products, even though it would seem profitable if we take it in. Yeah, but we just have to let them go if it does not fulfill the zero waste sustainability. So balance is the key, I think.
What about prioritizing, like how do you make yourself profitable? Like, can you share like some ways on how you manage to balance that?
I would say after 10 months of operating, you can't say it is profitable yet, because this is very new. Zero waste is very, very, very new, and especially in this area, startup area, where lower income person stays. So, so but we can see the improvement. Uh, we can see that a lot of new people trying to like come in, and after that they come again with their own containers. So I guess this would be, this is not zero waste business. I think it's not like bubble tea business. It can't really start very fast. I mean, bubble tea, when it's hit, right, it will be very fast profitable. It will be very, very, very fast. You will get back capital. But I think zero waste business is something that you have to grow it slowly, because you are actually not really selling your products, but you are selling an education. You're selling an awareness. So it takes time to educate. It's like how we study at school. It takes years to complete the education.
Since you started during or somewhat during the pandemic period, could you share how did you adapt like to the different SOPs, the different rules set by government? What were the challenges during that time?
Okay. As we have mentioned just now, zero waste is something that is not really familiar to the public. So with the pandemic, things actually get tougher, as we can't organize any events, or we can't even organize our event for our store opening to promote this awareness. So we are only able to depend solely on social media to expose ourselves. But thankfully, Zero Waste Malaysia is very helpful. They will help to promote. So just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Zero Waste Malaysia team for helping small zero waste business. Yeah. Another challenge will be the increasing need of packaging, because we have to do couriers and deliveries. So to overcome this issue, we will use containers, use bubble wraps, use boxes, which were donated by our customers to pack our parcels. So far, I think customers are receiving it quite well. But of course, we will hope that this pandemic will be over soon, so that customers can start to refill again.
With the still got the pandemic, obviously we're still in MCO, and there comes with like a bit of uncertainty of like how it will be carrying out for the next few months. How do you plan to help your business to maintain or even grow during next upcoming future?
At the moment, as a small business, I think we can only strive for survival. growing our business would be, I think, is the next step, I guess. But we are starting to have refill delivery now, as in we will arrange to go to your house to let you refill, and try to strike a balance between having business and safety. For example, we decided to close our store. Although we are one of the essential industries, we can actually open it, but we chose to close it because of the high cases. And zero waste store actually requires customers to have contact, as in we have to take your containers in, and we are not. Although we will sanitize it, but we cannot really ensure there's 100% safety there. So we've decided to actually close it for 2 weeks to see how it goes. It is not an easy decision to make, but we thought we have to do it anyway. But apart from the negative outcome, right, there is also positive outcome. There are customers who told us because of the pandemic, they are having more plastics than usual. So now they finally realize how much waste they have actually created. So I think this is something positive out of the negativity caused by the pandemic.
How did you manage to get that like feedback or conversation with your customers?
We will show our. I mean, I'm surprised myself. Because there are different kind of customers. Some would prefer plastics because we also understand because plastic actually protects the food like vegetables. The we will not. I mean, whenever customers because there's different customers, different views. So if there are this customer that says she prefer plastic, then we will not say no, 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 zero is no plastic cannot be. We don't say like that. We will say, oh, okay, okay. And then we just offer some suggestion to reduce it rather than ask them don't use plastic lah. Plastic not good. I mean that's not the way. So for these kind of customers to support without plastic, then we will further suggest to them how to start refilling and how to reduce more.
Okay. My next question is on your business. What is your business proudest achievement so far? Can you share?
If we really need to name it, what is our biggest achievement so far? It would be seeing people from different age, background, ethnicity, or status start to know and practice zero waste. Because actually, we have heard a lot of customers say zero waste store can only be found at atas place, like PJ or Sharon area. And they are actually quite surprised as one here in Sapa, which is, I mean, Sapa area is like those known as lower middle income people. So most of you might think zero waste is something that is applicable to higher income people or youngsters, but it is not. Everybody can be zero waste because it's about the habit, not about the age, status, or income level.
My next question is on can you name one entrepreneur that you admire and share with us why and how did they inspire you?
Okay, this might sound weird, but I always admire KFC's founder, Colonel Sanders. At the age of 40, he began selling chicken dishes in the service station, and he's fired from multiple jobs, ruined his legal career, and his recipe being rejected for 1,009 times. And he's gone through the Great Depression, fires, and World War II, yet he never gives up. And then now KFC is all over the globe. So whatever challenges that we are facing now, it is not really important. The important thing is, are we giving it up? So Colonel Sanders is one of the entrepreneur that I admire.
I'm sure in the audience there are younger people or maybe who maybe just come up from university, just graduate, and they might be thinking, how do I start a business? Can you share some advice, you think, if they want to start a business, and why should young people start a business?
Okay. Starting a business is really hard work, and it requires like 100 determination and effort. And most importantly, you will never know whether it will pay off or when it will pay off. It might take 1 year, it might take 10 years. It might succeed, it might fail. You might grow to open a few franchises, open a few more branches, but you might close it down. It might close down. So, but if you really want to start your own businesses, you have to plan and really start doing it, not just sit there and say, I want to do this, do this, do this, and never plan and never do anything. I mean, you will make mistake, but you will also learn during the journey. And after you have started, only you can really learn during the journey. So, and I think not just young people should start their own businesses. Of course, if you're young, you have the quota, but actually doesn't really only meant for young people. It's like Kerry's founder. Yeah, so you can actually start your own businesses in whatever age. Yeah. Mm.
You mentioned planning is like we just go ahead and plan. Any advice on like how do you start planning? Like let's say I really don't know, I don't have any background yet.
Okay. Actually, when we started, I mean, because Basic Zero Store is not actually our first business. We actually started our own accounting firm back in year 2015. At that time, we really didn't really plan. I mean, we have to plan, but it's not plan until thought we are those big, big major companies outside. So we plan as a startup. So for a startup, you must have your capital. You have to determine your budget, and you have to set a short-term goal, your long-term goal, and what is the main aim? What is the main goal that you want to start your business? Is it for profit, or is it because something that you are the dream that you're chasing? So because business is not just about dream, and it's also just about profit. So you have to balance out between your dream and the profit. So you, as long as you remember that business is a profit organization, it's not a charity. So if you really put this in your mind, then you will eventually be able to really go for it. Of course, the first thing you need is your capital. Either is you use your own money as your own capital, or you borrow money for your own capital. So previously, I have mentioned we have to start it slow. Just start slow. Don't try to like if let's say when you started this basics that time, I want to have 2,000 products in the store. I need to have like a few levels of one whole building to sell my things. Otherwise, people won't come. Don't think like that. Try to think it start small. Don't start too big. Because if you start small, then you can reserve your capital. So from there, you can slowly grow and grow and grow. Don't just start big and then lost. Yeah.
Achievable goals.
Yeah, achievable goals.
Okay, I think that's all my questions so far. Thank you so much for sharing. We will now move on to the Q&A session where the audience, for you, your questions will be answered. So the first question I saw in the chat, Candy asked, what would you advise to in finding a partner? Like, how do you work well with a partner?
Okay, we started this business as husband and wife. So you do not need to find a husband to start this business. Okay. To honestly to have a suitable partner, it's really not easy. I mean, my husband and I, we have arguments, okay, because because two brains doesn't mean you have the same mind. You have two brains and you have two different minds. So how to balance it out is we have to ensure that we have the same goal. I mean, we cannot same goal meaning like we decided to open the zero waste store. So we have to maintain profit and at the same time go sustainable. So if let's say I am the one who mainly goes for sustainability without actually thinking about profit, and or he's the one that only thinks about profit and not sustainability, then it would be clash. So you will need to find a partner that thinks the same goal as you. The process could be different, but you must have the same goal in mind.
True. You need to really align, especially like your main goals and vision for the business. Okay, I think Candy has more questions. Her next question will be: did you have to make any difficult decisions throughout your entrepreneurship journey? What was that like, and how? What helped you during that time?
Okay. We have mentioned a few challenges just now during the interview, and of course, I would say every day we are making difficult decisions. Like for example, because we have stopped browsing in our store, we actually stopped customers from entering our store. So actually, this is quite a difficult decision to make because if you do not allow customers to come in, how do you actually serve them? So and then because we do not provide plastic, so it actually chase customers away. Like for example, in the beginning when we start, there are customers who came in to want to buy biscuits, for example. And then when we say, do you have any containers or whatever, then they'll say, huh, no plastic. Uh, even paper bag, right? They will be reluctant to use it. Uh, this is also surprising, but I guess that's how our culture is lah. That's what our culture is. We are so used to plastic bags that we are even reluctant to use paper bags. So I would think that so you have to decide. So how am I going to sell this to them? I can't really chase them away like that every day. And it's really like really confusing, really sad, really frustrated because how on earth am I going to sell this without packaging? So so it requires patience to tackle this issue. So we actually tried to get in those used containers so that they can use that instead of offering them paper bags. And they are quite receptive about it. They only reluctant to use paper bags.
Yeah, I understand. It must have been difficult to like decide. Okay, do I want to insist my values or do I want to maximize the profit? Like, okay,
Yeah.
let me do what you want.
Yeah, it's really hard to balance out these two. Every day you have to think: I want money or want zero waste? I want money or zero waste, and it's hard to really strike a balance. Yeah.
Okay, I think thank you so much for your insight and Kerry, like both on your values of your business, also like how you manage it and so on. I think that's all our questions for today. That was Kerry, everyone, from Basic Zero Waste Store, sharing about her experience in Tauke Talks, brought to you by RYSE and supported by Citi Foundation. I think what I learned today, like when starting a business, you don't have to take so much time in planning, but instead, I think being on the ground, starting it, and then experience it firsthand, that's where you get to learn like the little challenges and how you can improve over time, right? And also on how she had like even when working with her husband as a partner, it's very important to align a vision with your partner so that you will have like a combined effort in managing your business. And I also hear about like her talking about when you set goals for your business, make sure it's short term, and then if possible, make it achievable and smart goals. Thank you very much for sharing, Kerry. I hope everyone feel inspired and motivated by Kerry to strive harder and maybe achieve your goals in life as well. If you enjoyed today's session, please sign up for our next Tauke Talks with Ben from Trio Ultimate. So the bit.ly is in the chat. It is happening next Wednesday at 9th June. So if you want to sign up for this, please key in bit.ly/Tauke Trio Ultimate in your URL to sign up for the next Tauke Talks. It's free, so go ahead and sign up. If you would like to hear more about upcoming Tauke Talk session, please like and follow us at Tauke Talks on Instagram and also our Facebook. And to find out more about RYSE, you can go on our Instagram and Facebook as well as RYSE program. So our next, besides Tauke Talks, RYSE is also organizing an online free course that you can learn in your own pace, and it's from February to July, so you still have time to sign up. You'll get to learn the basics about entrepreneurship, and we are giving away about 10,000 ringgit seed funding if you're a Malaysian from 18 to 28 and interested to start your own business, right? So if you're interested to find out more about this online course, please write down bit.ly/RYSE online 2021 to register and find out more. Okay, thank you, everyone. I think that is the end of our Tauke Talk session. Thank you so much, Kerry, for spending your morning with us today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. See you in next Tauke Talks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.